Tennessee's red hot shooting night came at just at the right time, and this will lead the Vols into greater tournament success. Bank on it, brought to you by Commercial Bank. I will go ahead and say bank on that. And that I think they'll beat Kentucky. Beyond that, I don't know. But their red hot shooting, if it carries over the long week, will definitely help them and could advance them to the Elite Eight.
I totally agree. For a couple of reasons. One, let's just start with Chaz Lanier. I mean, this dude is back to being red hot, like the way he was before SEC play started. Now, of course, he's got to get past an SEC game this week, but still, he is red hot right now. Pulling up his numbers recently, Dave. He is, I mean, he going back to, I would say, Tennessee's win over Texas A&M when he had 30 points, which is, he's been on a tear. He went 8 of 13 from 3 in that game. Then he went 3 of 8, 2 of 8, 3 of 8, 3 of 8, 2 of 5, 2 of 6, 1 of 5 off game against Florida. But then NCAA Tournament, 6 of 13 against Wofford, 4 of 5 against UCLA. He is 10 of 18 from 3 in 2 NCAA Tournament games. That's red hot. He is, and by the way, what he's doing is he's making teams pay in different ways. Wofford decided to play that press man with a bunch of slow white guys. So, of course, Chaz Lanier was going to come off a screen and have a good look every single time.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with a bunch of slow white guys.
Exactly.
Maybe they played off the screen. Maybe they didn't, Caleb, but they were just going to struggle no matter what happened.
You got to play zone. Sorry. I mean, I know you're a principal. You're like, we play tough man-to-man. You're not going to beat that Tennessee team playing man-to-man. Okay, so there was that. But then the UCLA game, we were worried about Chaz Lanier if you can't play spacing, and Mick Cronin doesn't let you play spacing. And so what did Rick Barnes do? We talked about it, turned up the tempo, brought the press. Chaz Lanier kept getting good looks, and he kept getting red hot, and he went 4 or 5 from 3, had 20 points, and he also found other ways to score in a crowded paint, because he went 4 or 5 from 3, but he also hit 2 field goals inside the paint, and also went to the free throw line 4 times. So Chaz Lanier speaks for himself, but the other part is, I mean, Jordan Gainey is effectively another Chaz Lanier.
I'm telling you, I love Jordan Gainey. I told you that last week. Timothy says you're racist. I just worked that into casual conversation. No, I love Gainey, man. Okay. I'm going to say something that you might find crazy.
Okay.
I think Gainey has the most upside as a professional player of anybody on this team.
Ooh, really?
Dude, man. I may be insane, but I look at him and not quite the Vincent Yarbrough body, but I don't know. I don't know, the hand-eye coordination and everything. I don't want to go too strong, but I told you last week that I love Gainey. And
I think as the son of an assistant in Justin Gainey, who's on Tennessee, I think Gainey shows out better than his real raw talent is, because he's so well coached and he is smart. He's a very smart player, and he has a lot of understanding of the game. And so I think that's what helps Gainey. He's probably, son of a coach, he's probably the smartest player on this team by a long shot too. And by the way, here's the other thing when we talk about.
Okay, agreed. For those that don't know, his dad coaches where?
At Tennessee. Justin Gainey is his coach, is the assistant at Tennessee.
Okay, so I thought you'd tell us more about him. No?
I mean, he's a Barnes assistant. That's as far. I mean, he's been there for a while, and Jordan Gainey transferred to play for him. Justin Gainey he spent time at Marquette, Arizona. Funny enough, Appalachian State, played at NC State in the 90s. He was at Appalachian State right after. It was for the guy who replaced Buzz Peterson the second time Buzz Peterson was at Appalachian State.
Buzz 2.0.
Unfortunately, Justin Gainey did not have the pleasure of coaching under a smart genius man like Buzz Peterson.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Buzz ball really prepares you for.
Yeah. A couple of comments. Colton with I have more trust in Gainey. Unsung says Gainey isn't afraid to take it to the rim. That's what Rick Barnes has been begging for Chaz Lanier to do all freaking season, is it not?
It is. It is. Here's the crazy part, though. We're leaving this out. Again, Dave, your head's going to explode. I'm going to go law of averages again, but I'm going to say it. In the last 3 games, Igor Milicic Jr. has 4 points, 5 points, 4 points, and is 2 of 7 from 3. At some point, isn't he due to just have a really red hot game from 3? And shouldn't it be against Kentucky?
Are we in March? Are you due anymore?
Well, but like he's been in a bit of a slump. He has shown it in the past. I mean, he had 13 points against South Carolina, 12 against Texas, and he went 2 of 4 from 3 against Ole Miss. I mean, he can definitely play. And in the last time Tennessee played Kentucky, although they lost, Igor Milicic went 3 of 4 from 3 with 16 points. I mean, isn't he due for a game?
I have a question to the message board. Here we go. Dylan says that Gainey is just a lot more effective at cutting the basket and finding the open man because he's taller than Ziegler. Yes, that's true. Gainey's intelligence outshines his natural ability. Should he be a starter? Should he play 30 minutes?
No, I don't think he should. I don't think anybody should play 30 minutes, honestly, from the backcourt. They got enough depth. But no, he shouldn't be a starter because you need the Chaz. Who are you going to put him in over? Chaz Lanier, Jemai Meshack, and Zakai Ziegler are all too complimentary of each other.
I'd go smalls. I would shift Chaz to 3. I would say that
put Meshack at the 4.
No, I'd put Gainey at the 2, Zakai at the 1, and here we go.
And Felix at the 5. And so you're saying, peace, Igor, get out.
Basically.
Now who's racist? Dave is kicking the white guys out of the starting lineup, okay?
European players.
Huh?
I mean, I totally hate European players. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. No, I don't. But I'm over it. I'm ready to move forward.
I mean, the thing is, Igor, like soft European white guys, like that can't play big under the basket when they're tall. The number one thing they should be able to do is be like a lethal force from 3, and Igor has not been a lethal force from 3. But isn't he due for one? I mean, look, this is why I think Tennessee's in great shape. Chaz Lanier is speaking. Justin Gainey's been peaking. Man, if Igor can do it too. And this is the part when I talk about March Madness, because we're like, did Tennessee get to the Sweet 16 because they peaked at the right time or because they're really good? Why not both? I mean, Dave, isn't half of advancing in March Madness just being hot when you need to be hot?
Yes. Adam with a great point. Dubar has played for some. He's a big wing.
I called for that.
Okay. In other words, let me just tell you this. It's all interchangeable. I mean, it's Phil Jackson said it 20 years ago, and I remember logging that in. Actually, good Lord, what was that, 30 years ago? He said everybody's going to be like Scottie Pippen, and they're all going to be interchangeable, and they're all going to be long and athletic. He didn't pick Jordan. He picked Pippen. Why? Because he's 6'8" with a longer wingspan that Jordan had. He didn't mean that they're all going to be led like Scottie Pippen could lead because he couldn't. But what he was saying is they're all physically going to be that type of athlete. So I look at a basketball team nowadays, and I think UNLV, going back to the Grandmama and Stacey Augmon days, Caleb, I don't want to go too far back, but I go back to that. That was positionless basketball. If I see a guy that can only play point guard, or it's going to sound like I'm ripping Zakai and everybody's going to just totally jump on me. If I see a guy that can only play one position, like a point guard like that, like Zakai, or a 7'2" guy like Zach Edey, I'm not saying that I can't work off it, which obviously Purdue did and Tennessee has done. But I'm telling you, there's a glass ceiling of what I can get done if I don't have 5 positionless players.
Okay, I'm going to say it to you this way. I get your point.
Push back hard.
No. I just don't think there's a problem if you have a guy that's locked in at a position. I really don't. I still don't mind. I mean, I think positionless basketball, I think honestly I think because everybody's doing it, there's a market for doing traditional old school style basketball that nobody would be equipped to handle. I mean, okay.
But aside from Zach Edey, you could dump it into him and he's like Kevin McHale back in the day. Who else? In the past 20 years of basketball would you point to and say
Tyler Hansbrough.
Who?
Tyler Hansbrough from North Carolina that won a national title. They could dump it into Tyler Hansbrough.
I'll give you him. That's a very good one. But
So
we're dealing with 2 over the past 20 years.
No, I agree. And like getting hot shooting is what matters the most, which is why I was bringing up this topic of Tennessee shooting. Dave, let's make the bank on it question this, and you tell me if I'm crazy. Can I dictate the bank on it question for this segment?
As long as you tease it forward and don't give it away.
All right, bank on it. Will Tennessee's continued shooting be an advantage in the next 2 rounds?
You have to make a statement. That's bank on it.
Okay, fine. Bank on it. Tennessee, despite Kentucky being a better three-point shooting team, Tennessee's three-point shooting will be the advantage this upcoming weekend in the tournament.
My man.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank. Life.
All right, Caleb, you had the bank on it statement. Tell me why you would bank on it.
So Kentucky is a better three-point shooting team than Tennessee based on numbers. Kentucky is 28th in the nation in three-point percentage. They're 40th in three-pointers made per game. Tennessee, meanwhile, is 102nd in three-pointers made per game and 158th in three-point percentage. However, I think 2 things are going to be happening. One, I think Tennessee is going to be well-rested. What do I think that's going to lead to? Now, because the game's not until Friday. That's huge because Tennessee really needs a rest. I think the defense will be where it needs to be to come off those screens and contest those Kentucky shots. I think that's going to happen. I think Kentucky is due to be a little bit off shooting the ball. And then most importantly, I think Tennessee is peaking with their three-point shooting at just the right time. So even though Kentucky is the better three-point shooting team, I think Tennessee will make it an advantage for themselves when the two face off this weekend. And I know that's crazy to say, but I think that that's going to be what can carry Tennessee, not just out of that, but that could carry Tennessee to the Final Four if they find themselves facing Houston or Purdue in the Elite Eight, honestly.
Lord, we really have to discuss the significance of this matchup, right? I mean, we talk Tennessee, Alabama in football, but Tennessee, Kentucky in basketball is huge. Tennessee, last I checked, is second to Kentucky in most overall SEC wins. And there is a matchup there that it has some history, whether or not it's Chris Lofton or whoever it might be. It has some history, Caleb, and it's a rivalry from Tennessee's perspective. I don't think there's any question about that. Portions of the program brought to you by Newbert Collision Center. For nearly 50 years, Newbert Collision Center has been East Tennessee's best choice for quality repair work and fantastic customer service. Check us out right down below, joenewbertcollision.com, joenewbertcollision.com. How big of a rivalry is this for Tennessee, Caleb?
Oh, it's very personal for Tennessee. And I think it's really personal because of the fact that they got swept by Kentucky during the regular season. And they don't want to. 2 things are true. We've talked forever. This is their best chance at a Final Four run. Nothing could make you sicker than missing out on your best chance ever to make a run at the Final Four because you lost to the team you hate the most that beat you 3 straight times in a year. And you actually have the better team than that team. That would just be a brutal situation.
Agreed. There was a time in which you would look at Kentucky's basketball program and say, hey, that's a better program. I don't think you feel like that now. So if you don't beat them on the court, what do you got?
Yeah, exactly. You got to beat them on the court this time around. So I think that, look, I think I don't, there's no way you can allow yourself to lose to this Kentucky team 3 times under a first-year head coach with the team that you're better than and your best chance at a Final Four. You just can't do it. Again, 3-point shooting makes it will be the determining factor. And I think that Tennessee, that's my big prediction. I think they're peaking at the right time. That's a break that Rick Barnes has been waiting for, and he's needed, and he finally has it.